other thing about the move fast and break things, and what you guys are talking about in the digital or the tech world, it's the same. That what they let them get away with. There's a really good piece today on Kyle Kalinski's channel, where he talks about Elon's Tesla caught in a massive fraud campaign. And I was thinking, oh gosh, what's this all about? Maybe it's about they're fudging their numbers or da 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 da. But he's literally goes into showing about all the promises that have been made about
Mm,
Teslas and sold. Like, in other words, taking deposits for this roadster that was going to be here last year and then this year and then next year. And anyone else doing that Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme,
hmm
would have been
hmm
in jail yonks ago. But, the wealthy, the unbelievably wealthy, the oligarch, if you will, and
Yeah.
the tech bro get away with it, because I can remember it might have been Joe Rogan, which is not the best reference point, but Joe Rogan talking about Elon boring a tunnel underneath Los
LA.
Angeles.
It's gonna
And
be LA.
he literally said the only reason they let him do it is because he's rich. Like, if some random came to the government with this idea, they'd just laugh him out of the building. But because Elon's worth so much, they basically let him do whatever he wants. And that, I think that's true. So all of these things compiling on top of each other, and the always irony for me about the people who aren't billionaires, multimillionaires, millionaires, 100,000s heirs, they're, as Dave Chappelle describes, the dusty white people from the middle of Bible Belt, then stand up for these guys and stand up for their efforts to enrich themselves, the billionaire class and the millionaire class. And these people who are the working poor have become so feudal or tribal or whatever it is. They're going, yes, this is what we want. Fighting for the right for billionaires to become multiple billionaires. It's just so bizarre.
I I think there's some of that, but I think it's thinner. I think that is only the ability of, I suppose, a Trump or a Musk to cleave off what should be like the natural constituency for like a left wing or center left political party is only just reflective of the fact that there's no left wing political party in the U.S. And I know you're getting Chippy on tomorrow night, but if they think they can just Keir Starmer their way back to power, I mean, seriously, like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to stand for some shit. You have to fight. Like, things are real right now. And I want to be optimistic, but I haven't seen as much fight as I would like, given the opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of that kind. And I'm sorry, this got into a whole election stuff, but I'm seeing that sort of, oh, you can't announce policies 1 year out type of mentality, and it's like, no, you know what I mean? Like, you got to fight for people. So
Uh,
there is that feudal slave mentality, and I will say, this is an anecdote I shared with Kyle on one of 200, that like, I have young adult children, and one told me once of when he was working in retail of somebody who dropped in a CV who said that his interest was in passive income, and it's like, my brother, you watch podcasts with people talking about passive income and crypto. You know what I mean? Like, this is this weird thing so that is sort of what you're describing, right? That
yeah.
like, so I wouldn't want to discount that, but I think it's still thin, and to sort of like bring it back to what Doge politically is trying to do is trying to break the ability of people to think that there's anything collectively or politically that might be done for everyday people.
Well, let's wrap on this, right? So you've just described what Doge is trying to do. What do you think the intention of the New Zealand Doge? What are they trying to do?
It's really kind of pathetic lickspittle, like, how may we serve you, Silicon Valley masters? Like,
Okay.
there was a lot of excitement around Peter Thiel's naturalization, and people that weren't like ostensibly like right wing, dark enlightenment, neo feudalists were really like defending Peter Thiel, like, hey, insulting Peter Thiel will get us nowhere. Like, I'm sorry, the man is like ridiculous. He's worth insulting, right? He thinks he's going to live forever. He hates democracy. He believes that women and minorities getting the vote has ruined the potential for American freedom, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, he's worth criticizing till the cows come home. So I think there is this kind of bedazzlement by, yes, this was the line for the last 10 years is like, look, if we play our cards right, we might be the next Silicon Valley, right? We can get some digital nomads to come here. We can signal to them that our sector is really inviting of Web3, that as that white paper I mentioned, we're going to be like an open regulatory sandbox. So I mean, who knows? Maybe Judith Collins takes this up. She seems like she loves AI, she loves tech, and maybe that appeals to her sensibilities. But again, from some of my people that are a little bit closer to Callahan, it's sort of like, you know, Callahan is running down the clock, and this one corner of Callahan that's very blockchain and crypto centric is trying this play, and you know, and maybe I'm being too kind and generous, and things could escalate stupidly very quickly. But it's definitely something that we should be primed for, and, you know, drawing a line, and that we can take, you know, so workers everywhere are having to deal with like AI and the way in which this is being wielded as like a weapon of class warfare. And we should understand that, yeah, they want to do, people in tech, even when they think they're just like being innovative or being optimistic, this is the project that they're fundamentally connected to, unless they're working hard on another project, on something that's aligned with values of the public good, and that really like understands that.